Okay, today I'm going to do a quick overview on how to run multiple audio sources into one set of speakers. Mainly, that would be two computers, and I've actually got a couple of the devices that I'm running through it too. But basically, we're going to talk about these two computers I've got. One's a Mac and one's a PC. But I've got all of my audio devices running through one set of speakers. You can see the speakers over there, the old style champagne. They're made by Harman Kardon, I believe. Yeah, there's the other one right there. Made by Harman Kardon. They're actually some of the best computer speakers made, in my honest opinion. They sound really good. They're not super overly loud, but they sound really good and they have good response to them. Okay, so what we got here, we've got the two computers. And you can see by the way the monitor is twitching back and forth. I've still got a CRT. Oh, cathode ray too. That's what happens when you're poor. Don't have a lot of money. You have to use what you have. The one on the left is obviously the Mac. You can see Mr. Happy Mac there. And the one on the right is my PC. And I'm going to show you how to get all of these devices, audio-wise, going through one set of speakers. Okay, you can see the two computers there. I'm actually using the box that I got my Mac in to support my CRT monitor for the Mac. And on the far left, sitting on the small dresser, you can see I've got a mini disc over there and the actual audio I/O for the Mac, because the Macintosh is actually an audio workstation, high-end audio workstation. And in the middle there, sitting on top of the Mac, you can see what is referred to as a audio signal mixer. It was a really cheap audio mixer. It doesn't sound all that great. As far as recording, it actually has some pretty decent qualities to it. If you just use the straight up mixer mode, I wouldn't advise using any of the effects that come with it or any of the processing that comes with it. It does have both time-based and dynamic effects, but they're really not that good. The preamps aren't too bad though. You can actually get a decent sound recording. For live application, live sound, it's really not that good though. I've got a couple of the mixers that I prefer to use better than this one, but for this application, it actually works pretty good. So I'm going to zoom in here on the mixer and show you exactly how it's set up. Okay, here's the mixer. It's a Yamaha MG series. It's MG82FX. I think I paid about $140 for it. You can actually find mixers that are very similar to this that are actually cheaper. I actually got this one about 2 years ago. It's fairly up to date, but it's not completely up to date. There are new models out now. But I think Yamaha does still make this one, entry-level consumer equipment. Most all of it's made in China. Some of it's made in Mexico, but I'm pretty sure this probably came from China. Really nothing wrong with it. You know, for the amount of money you pay for it, you can't beat it. You know. It's going to be about the same as a Behringer or Soundcraft has an entry-level mixer, Mackie, Allen Heath. There's several companies that have entry-level mixers like this, and they're all going to be pretty much the same. They might sound a little different, but as far as features, what you can do with them, they're all going to be the same. The price points are going to be all about the same. And you can see there's all kinds of plugs and wires coming in out of it. And I'll go through each one of them for you now. Okay, this mixer, along with all the other basic mixers you're going to find, no matter what brand you got, you have two different sections. First you have your input section over here on the left with all these knobs on it over here, the plethora of knobs. I'll go over one of the channel strips in just a second, but basically that's your input, that's where your signal comes in. And over here on the right you've got your master section. That's where signal comes out or gets rerouted. Each individual input section you have a mic input right here, which is an exchange line receptacle, which is a very low signal. It's like minus 50 dBs for most inputs, most mics. It's really low input. That's why you need all this gain structure here. This is gain. This is gain. That's why you need all this gain structure to bring the level up. This next one is what's called a line input, line level input. And that is like something you would get out of a keyboard or a CD player is going to have about the same level. It's usually +4 or +10, one or the other, which is, you know, quite a bit of difference. So you don't have as much boost if you go in here as you do here, because the signals naturally the signals are already boosted from, you know, your output device whenever you're plugging into it. And you've got what's called an insert. That's for bringing your dynamic bass processors, your EQs, your compressors, and, you know, gates and stuff like that. That's for bringing them. You can actually plug it directly in, and the signal comes in either one of these and goes out this and into your processor and then back in this same hole, and then it goes down here the chain. Next here you got your main preamp. Your main preamp is where you get your most boost, but it's also where you get the most distortion, so you have to be kind of careful the way you turn that one up. You're going to be using a lot of this if you're plugging just a mic in, but if you're plugging in a keyboard, you're not going to use hardly any of this, a keyboard or CD player or whatever. Right here you've got what's called a fixed filter. It's actually preset. That's what your fixed filter means. It's preset to shelf off low frequencies below 80 Hertz, which is all your bass and sub frequencies. But I've found in all my experience, pretty much all consoles that have this filter. Now there may be some, fixed variant filters where you'll have a couple different areas you can select. But most of these consoles that just have a single 80 Hertz or 75 Hertz, whatever, they're very subtle. It's not a very drastic drop. That's why they call it a shelf. So if you really need to get rid of a lot of low frequencies, you need to have, in your insert, you need to insert a graphic EQ. Next here, you've got a compressor, which I don't use at all because it's not very good. It works, but it's just not an optimal compressor. I've got other compressors that work better. Okay, next, these green knobs, you have equalization. You have high frequencies, you have mid frequencies, you have low frequencies. And they too are fixed filters, but you can vary how much in or out. So this filter up here is fixed. You just press it. It's either on or off at whatever amount of shelf that it does. But with these filters here, it's fixed at a frequency point, but it's a wide bandwidth. It's either medium or wide. Most of them are either medium or wide. And you can actually adjust how much of that boost or gain. And it has plus or minus 15 on either side. If you look at the scale, on this side it says minus 15, on this side it says plus 15. That means it is an active equalization. So you got high, which is stuff that comes out of a tweeter, real high frequencies. And you got mid, which comes out of a mid-range. And you got low, which is bass frequencies, low bass and sub. And being as it's active, it's going to give you a little bit of coloration and sound. Now, if you got good chips in there, which this unit really doesn't, it's got